Hey, thanks for joining me for another episode of Quarterback Draw. Our main goal with Quarterback Draw is to provide quarterbacks with information that they can use to take their game to the next level. But not only that, we want them to take their career to the next level. We just did an 8-part series with a number of college quarterbacks throughout the country, detailing what they do throughout the week so that they can prepare for the games on Saturday so they can excel. Now that that's over, we're moving on to the next phase. That would be going to the NFL, selecting an agent, and selecting a financial advisor. What we wanted to do was sit down with a number of the top agents throughout the country so that you can get a feel for them before you get ready for the process. Today we sit down with Gary Vaynerchuck. Gary Vee started a multi-million-dollar media firm in Vayner Media and has since added VaynerSports. He plans to change the game in a big way, so we sat down with him. Check out what he has to say. What's going on, Gary? Thank you for joining me on QB Draw.
Thanks for having me, man.
Definitely. So there's a few people out there who really don't know about you and what you do.
A lot of people.
Would love for you to kind of explain to the next generation of football players who you are and what you do.
I'm an entrepreneur through and through. I was born in the Soviet Union, Russia. Came here when I was 3. We were super poor. Family in a studio apartment with 9 family members in Queens. So the struggle was extremely real. My dad is my hero, my mom too. He worked his face off. Didn't see him for like 9 years, and I'm not kidding. Like kids that like dads left saw their dad more often than I did because he left before I woke up. He came home, wanted to sleep. When I tell you like I didn't see him for 10 years, I didn't see him for 10 years. Mm-hmm. He worked every single day except for Christmas and New Year's where he slept all day. Like that's how much my dad worked. That's why I'm a workaholic. He eventually owned his own small liquor store in New Jersey. I grew up in Edison, New Jersey. Lemonade stands, baseball cards, football cards. I was a real hustler. I would sell you I would like steal your and try to sell back to you. Blow pops, just that kid. Got into my dad's liquor store because I was 14. He dragged me in. Now he has his own business. He's like, you got to work. $2 an hour, sucked, kind of grinding. But then at 16, 17, I'm like, wait, people collect wine? And I was into collecting baseball cards. So like weird as shit, but I got into wine. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay. And then I saw the internet come. I'm older than these characters. I'm 41. Saw the internet come along, and I'm like, okay, there's something really here. Mm-hmm. And in 1996, I launched WineLibrary.com, one of the first e-commerce wine businesses. And over the next, 5 to 8 years, using email marketing, Google AdWords, and then YouTube, I figured out how to market on the internet and grew the business from a $3 to a $60 million business. Then YouTube sells, and I'm like, wait a minute, I could be making more money. And I said, I got to start investing in these internet companies that I believe in. So the first one I saw that I believed in that was new was called Twitter. That was good. Then Tumblr, then Facebook, then Uber, then Snapchat. So I've made a lot of money investing. Venmo, killed it in investing. And then 7 years ago, I started Vayner Media. We do the social media marketing and digital marketing for Under Armour, Budweiser, Chase, Turner, TNT. So built a huge company, built it from scratch with my brother AJ, who's now the co-founder of VaynerSports, which we'll get to in a second. We built it from 0 to 100 million revenue in 7 years, 750 people, London, New York, Chattanooga, Tennessee, LA, and San Francisco. I plan on buying the New York Jets. I sold 30% of my company to Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, and I've been learning the football business, and came across Mook and Brian, who had a small agency called Symmetry Sports, fell in love with their heart, thought I could give them a resource in pizzazz, marketing, and dollars. And a year ago, we started VaynerSports. We bought Symmetry Sports, and there are 6 or 7 clients, Matt Paradis, Pro Bowl center, Broncos. And we're having a tremendous first class. We've got some guys locking up a couple more. And to be very frank, we're going to change the sports agency industry the same way I changed the wine business. I made everybody, just to make it real quick, every wine store in America is now cheaper on wines over $30 because of me, because I forced them, because I made every $30 to $100 wine at cost cheap and fucking grinded them out. Advertising industry, everybody now has to make content for Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat, and they take these things serious, and we grew the fastest because everybody laughed at it because they thought TV commercials and magazine ads. We changed that industry. This industry is the craziest because the truth is I just think the agencies that rule the day now are just okay. I don't think they're bad, specifically bad. I just think I'm better, and I think we're going to change it. I think we're going to make more money for our kids off the field. I think we're going to make them better men. I think when you look at the averages of 3-4 years in the league, I think some of these 27-year-olds are going to need jobs, and and other things of that nature, and I'm going to be there for them through and through. And so, to be very frank, I don't even want to hype it because I don't want to talk about it. Because then they just got to believe you like everybody else. I'm just going to wait and look back at this video in 7 years and realize we changed the game because we just have that talent. We're playing a different game. We're talking a different language, and I'm excited about wrecking havoc on a, what I like about the agency world is these are a bunch of dudes. Like my competitors, it's a bunch of guys that couldn't be good enough to play sports, so they did this. So they're competitive.
Right, shit.
But I don't know who they are. I was in a meeting with some guy who's like the mentor for the guy, first round pick. He brings up one of the big agencies. I don't want to call him out because it's disrespectful. But I'm like, is that a facility? And he started laughing, and so did my partners. And I'm like, listen, I don't need to know who they are. If you gave me the New York Jets right now, and you asked me to name one agent in the NFL from Rock Nation or CAA, I couldn't do it. That's how little I'm worried about that. I'm worried about how do I get fourth round guards more marketing dollars? How do I get a fourth round guard who has the right story, a content deal? How do I get a fifth round safety, a off the field sneaker deal? I'm having those meetings. I need to fucking look up who the ninth agent at CAA is.
So you've kind of changed the game in pretty much every field you've been in.
That's right.
As a quarterback,
yes.
I'm coming out, you haven't done the quarterback shit yet. Like, you just haven't done it.
No, I haven't.
Why do I say, all right, I trust Gary Vee to take my career and take it to the next level?
Because my 7-year-old daughter can go on Google and tell you which camp, which trainer, which right thing you need to do on a football level, and because it's in your fucking heart and your arm and your brain, and all the other stuff I have to execute for you. And there's been plenty guys who are supposed to go in the first round. I follow football hard. I know the Jets practice squad, so this is my life. I just know the stories. I know the stories. And so I think the reason a quarterback comes with us, look, does the number 1 or number 2 pick in the NFL draft next year, some of the guys that are projected, are they going to come with us? I'm not, as egotistical as I feel right now, I'm not naive, and I recognize that some of the biggest agencies in the world are going to have the tactics. They probably got them locked up already. So I'm a big boy. I think that, to be very frank, and you haven't been in a meeting with me like this yet, Quince, I don't want to sell them on me. I really don't. I'm empathetic. You've been courted since you were 13, right? Your parents have been hoping you'll never get hurt and everything's gonna be okay, and now you're finally here. You made it through, and what, are you gonna take this crazy high risk on a startup? But I took risks on startups. I bet my hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's all I had in my bank, on Facebook. It worked. And so the same reason that I was able to make tens of millions of dollars on that, I think that every kid that signs with us is going to disproportionately get our attention, our execution, and then what's gonna end up happening is a lot of these kids aren't gonna be the ones that sign with us because they're not smart enough to. And you know what? They actually may be smart enough to. Their handlers aren't. Their uncle, their dad, their mom. So I'm not even worried about getting a top 5 quarterback in this draft. It's not happening. It's not really happening overall. Maybe one guy. Next year's draft, I don't expect to happen. But in the, 17, 18, in 2019 draft, we will have the number 1 pick overall if it's a quarterback, and we'll have him. Because by then, it will be clear as day that VaynerSports has fundamentally changed the game in a way, because we're going to have 38 guys who are going to be like, okay, this is different shit. And I'm friends with NFL stars who are pinging me. I'm staying away from everything because I don't know the rules. You gotta wait to the blackout. I'm like, so I'm just staying passive. I'm staying in the weeds a little bit like a cobra. I know nobody's paying attention. I don't think any of the big boys are paying attention to me.
They are.
Well, I'm hoping they're not. I'm trying to set a little more. This interview might fuck me up a little bit. But,
they are.
But I'm planning on jumping out of the fucking grass and doing my thing. And so, it's a foregone conclusion. I'm excited about it. One thing that has hit me is, and I'm going to exploit this, and this is exploit in a good way, these are good kids. That's, and I'm talking overall right now. We've met with some quarterbacks.
Right.
These are good kids. And that, I was a little fired up to begin with. I was a little romantic. I'm like, I'm going to be better guys. Now I really want to do it. Because the kids are a little bit better. You kind of forget what an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old's actually like. I have a lot of them that work for my company, but these kids are making their entire life's decision, and then you learn bullshit like, wait a minute, so you're telling me that if you're actually in the bowl series and you're going out and you haven't really talked to any agents behind the scenes or a little bit or kind of sorta, and what, you've got 4 weeks to make the biggest decision in your life of who you're going into business with before the kid, like shotgun weddings, like there's a lot of broken shit, and I plan on changing it.
So you sent me a text a while back, and it was just kind of how much you cared, but I've seen that you actually care about people and the things you do, the way you help people out. I kind of just want to talk a little bit about, or I want you to talk. It's going to be different for anything that kids have seen from the agent side. They don't care. They don't know what's cool. They don't relate to guys. You got 65-year-old old-ass crud dudes who don't care about the kids. They want a kid to check. But you being able to help them get the check, that's so important to, I think, them, and I think they'll see the value in that.
Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you. Like, if it wasn't you, I wouldn't do this interview. Like, it's just, honestly, if one smart agent from someplace watches this and now realizes we're dangerous, I'm super calm just putting my head down. Like, I like it. This was a fun year. This was the fun year where nobody knew who we were. When we announced Jalen signing, a lot of people were like, what the fuck? Because he's a legit draft choice. They're like, who are these guys? We've got some big ones that we're about to announce. Yeah. It's just real. Like, it's very real. And here's why I'm happy. When we're fully done announcing, I guess mid-January, right? Everybody's got the dust settled. People are going to know how real it is. And they're going to hope that we got lucky this year. That's the part that drives me. They're gonna hope that they're like, oh, especially some of the things that are breaking down. I think some people are gonna be like, oh, okay, what happened there? They got one piece in the dominoes. They don't understand what's coming. So yeah, I think we're gonna do the right thing by the kids. I think that's what it's gonna come down to. We were talking off camera as you guys were putting batteries in right now, and I was talking about D-Rock, who films me. I do a daily vlog called Daily V. What we do for our employees, what I do for people, is so extreme that and these are people that are just hidden employees at Vayner Media. These are athletes that are out and about. So I think we're in a big time spot. I'm excited, man. I think quarterbacks are a little different. They're going to be real competitive, but I do say that I don't do a lot of homework, but I am aware. I don't know what their names are, but I know last year's first and second round picks were rep by the same agency, two brothers. Yep. So I know that. I don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're doing extremely well now that they pulled that off. I do see a scenario like that. I told AJ, my brother AJ, that I wanted to draft. I think in the 3 years from today, three drafts from today, we have a chance of like taking the whole first round. And I know that can't happen because guys wouldn't want you to represent that. But I think it's going to be so obvious that we're going to have such deal flow, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. Well,
I'm not going to wrap you up all night. I can't wait to see you change the game.
Thank you, man. Good to see you.